of your lives, are they on a regular schedule or is it random?
No, I don't have a regular schedule yet.
Okay. I was just gonna say, if you did, let me know and then I could put it, I would have an idea of everything.
Yeah, I kind of because I'm a part of RB. I see you. You want me to put that out there?
No, I'm just, the lighting is weird. It makes me gray, not black.
Um, Did you want to hit this? Got it. Yeah. Oh, who is Herman Douglas? Well, I'm going to explain that in a few minutes. Because as soon as I say the name, you guys will know. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Ooh, somebody just wants the bag that the other girl wanted me to drive to her and she's not answering me.
Well, that's annoying. Oh no, I ain't going nowhere. I'm just giving people time to come in real quick.
Oh,
Okay, there we go.
whoa.
Yeah, I've been, I spoke on him before, but I ain't really like go into great length, because I had other things going on at the time. But after what I seen and the way this guy just is poking his chest out, no, we're gonna remind the world of what kind of nasty, disgusting person he is. You know,
This is going for $65 used.
what?
Yes.
Ching ching. Okay, so so I might as well just get started. Uh, so as you guys see the title, and you guys know my program, um, you know, there's certain things I like to not discuss, and there's other things that need to be discussed, and these is one of the things that needs to be discussed because you got this guy out here. Hey, what's going on, Tia? You got this guy out here poking his chest out, you know, getting mad at people because of stuff that he did that he knows that A, you're not supposed to do it. B, once again, why didn't you come out and help Nip? Why did you just stay in the store and watch your so-called best friend get murdered and you did nothing? Then you turn around thinking you was doing something by taking a stand. And everybody knows, coming from that culture, coming from that life, taking a stand is a no-no. You know, but even more importantly than that, you know, even more importantly than that, a couple years ago, about 2, 3, maybe 4 years ago, he was, the whole thing about Nip, you know, and then it was brought to a lot of our attentions that we did not know that this guy is on Megan's Law. And y'all know what Megan's Law is. Y'all know that's where they put all the sick, pedophile, disgusting, creepy weirdos, that takes the innocence of youngsters. So when I first heard it, I was like, oh my God, what? Nah, this can't be true. Wait, hold on. No. Then they posted the thing and showing up. It got his picture right there. It's his face, his Herman Douglas, everything about him, all of that. All of that. And he started going around and saying, no, that's not me. That's not me. That's somebody else. Hold on. First of all, they're not just going to put a face up there next to a name if it ain't that person. They ain't about to do that. And then, it kind of went by the wayside or whatever. And, everybody just kind of moved on. Well, now lately, some of y'all may know this content creator by the name of Nina Boy, and he's not one of my favorite people, but I'm still subject to him because I still watch some of his content, even though I don't rock with a lot of the things that what I'm saying he be on sometimes, but nonetheless, he did a reaction, about what Herman was saying in response to somebody else. And so he's just giving his commentary. He's giving his opinion. He's giving his thoughts. He's giving factual information. And then all of a sudden, here go Herman going live today, and he talking about, oh well, y'all East Coasters need to get your boy. If that's your boy, you need to get your boy because he's playing with my life and all this. I'm like, hold on. You keep saying people playing with your life, but you're the one on Megan's Law, though. You're the one on Megan's Law, not Nina Boy. Not nobody else that has spoke on this. Nobody's on Megan's Law. You're on Megan's Law. And you sit up here and you try to ignore that fact. And you see, this is the problem that we have in America. People will pick and choose. They will sit up here and say, oh yeah, we're against that. We don't like that. This, that, and the third. But they hang out with a person that does the exact same thing or has done the exact same thing that they don't rock with. Hell, we see it with the president of the United States, all the disgusting things he said, but he still got people around him, yeah, Donald Trump, woo, woo, woo. Same way you got people out here saying, yeah, cowboy, yeah, what's up, cowboy, and dabbing them up and everything. I'm just like, hold on. What kind of morals and standards do you guys have? You know what I'm saying? Because that was the one thing about the streets that, throughout the whole BS of it, there was still some type of morals and standards that people went by. That is gone. That is gone. You uneducated for coming into my chat trying to tell me I'm uneducated. So Jack Stantro, you can take your remedial self and you can kick rocks and go over there with the other unintelligent people. Thank you very much, RB. Oh, come on here talking about I'm uneducated. Shoot. Spell dictionary. Shoot. Talk about I'm uneducated. Shoot. Talk in another language. Since you so educated, Jack Stan. Anyways. You got people out here still showing love to this cat. And I'm just like, y'all just don't care. Or you guys are doing it yourselves and just trying to hide it, acting like you're not really doing that. You know what I'm saying? And every time somebody wants to sit up here, like even the dude that he knocked out last week or a couple weeks ago, when he came out the story, he was like, "Oh, he boo boo," and you know what I'm saying. And when Nina Boy said, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even think about it at first, but that is correct. Even though dude got knocked out, that everybody's gonna remember. He just called you boo boo. And that's how it really be. That's how it really be. They're gonna remember what he said. Like, you just had somebody just call you boo boo. You're weak. You're no good, and all that. And then so you get in your feelings, and then you dope fiend them. Now that seems like somebody that got some guilty conscience, some guilty ways about themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a man, why would you just swing on somebody when they ain't even looking? If you was really a man, then you would have had that, you would have looked at that man face to face and you would have squared off with him. That's what a man does. Or, hey, if you got something to say, you could not look at the camera, you come in and holler at me. Something. But no, you chose to blindside him, and that's how you knocked him out. Okay, well, check this out. Herman Douglas, you don't get no stripes for that, buddy. No, at no point in time in the streets do you ever get stripes for blindsiding somebody, sucker punching somebody, dope fiending somebody, whatever term you want to use. You don't gain nothing from that, you know. But what everybody's gonna remember and what everybody's gonna put on a much higher scale is the fact that he came out and called you boo boo. Called you boo boo. Ain't no man ever in their life ever called me boo boo in my face. Ain't nobody ever told me I was no good in the same neighborhood that I grew up on, that I lived in, that I was raised in. Nobody's ever told me that. And this cat up here, you know what I'm saying, gets in his feelings because it's the truth. You is no good. You know what I'm saying? Like, the court is the court. You no good because you let your so-called best friend get murdered and you didn't do nothing about it. But even more importantly than that, the fact that you took the innocence of a young girl and now you want to sit here and act like none of that ever happened. And of course, he's going to always try to spin the story. Look, you can't spin the story when you end up on Megan's Law. You're just a filthy, nasty, disgusting individual that goes around touching on little girls and taking their innocence from them. And as a father myself to a daughter, man, I ain't gonna tell you what I do, but if you a real father out there who got daughters, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Hell, you a mama with daughters, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know. And I'm so tired of these people coming out here just poking their chest out when they got no good stuff. They got all kinds of, they done did some of the most nasty, disgusting things, but they walking around with their chest poked out like they Superman. You know? And to be quite honest, I'm kind of interested on hearing about what happened when he was locked up. Because the thing about it is, when you get locked up for that type of stuff, that type of stuff is no good behind them walls. And all the brothers and shoot, any man that's in that place, you get somebody that comes up in there that got that type of stuff attached to them, oh, they're immediately getting whooped on. Immediately getting whooped on. Not unless they go PC first and try to, avoid all that. But other than that, it will be after the fact. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of want to know, did he PC up? Did he have some type of protection in there? Because he could never get in trouble again. He could never get in trouble. He could never get locked up ever again in life. Because now that everybody know about it, and anybody that's sitting there trying to protect this cat, like, there's something wrong with y'all. There's something seriously wrong with y'all. Because who hangs around people like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, who dabs them up, shakes their hand, have a smoke with them, whatever. And that's a disgusting thing about society. And it ain't just today, because a lot of the stuff back in the day got covered up, and you weren't supposed to talk about it. But this type of stuff been going on, and it always seems like society wants to cover it up while telling everybody else, no, this is wrong, this is bad, and everything else. Like, wait, hold on, you're talking out of both sides of your mouth right now. If he was a relative of mine, I still wouldn't let it. Man, on everything. Are all Crip sets incorporated with federal law enforcement? Or no, we are not. We are not. Whatever they got going on down there, as far as that goes, that's something that they got to clean up. I speak on it from time to time, but that's something that they got to clean up. And I always say, and like, I even bring up like the hood vlogs, because I've been talking about the hood vlogs for, like, not consistently, but I was talking about this like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, about hood vlogs not being good. You know what I'm saying? So, because when you do that, not only do you expose yourself, but you expose the entire neighborhood. And now, and so now you're putting other people's lives in danger, all because you want to show out and represent where you from and catch carpal tunnel because you throwing up your little signs 1,000 times a second. Like, I see where you from. Okay, whatever. You ain't gotta constantly do all that stuff. Like that stuff be looking retarded to me. Did we used to do that? Yeah, of course. But we weren't doing it every 10 seconds. We weren't doing that. As a matter of fact, the only time we really did do that is if we was at like a function and somebody was stacking with the pop locking or dancing, grooving, you know what I'm saying, throwing it up or whatever. Other than that, you know what I'm saying, or riding by one of the enemies and chunking it up one time. But other than that, no, we weren't just all out in public doing that stuff. Because you know what I'm saying? Because that draws attention. That draws attention. And that's the one thing about the thing is it was always something that was an underground society. Only certain people knew about it. Not everybody was supposed to know about it. you know. So we weren't going around doing all that stuff just like, hey, here we, you know what I'm saying? Like, because the police are going to watch. They're watching. They're watching. And with this internet and all that, they watching everything. Everything. And when we sit here and we try to, you know what I'm saying? Even the ones up north, where I'm from, I be trying to speak on them too. Like, y'all got to stop doing that. Because next thing you know, you're going to have a line of police officers, sheriffs, SWAT, FBI, you know what I'm saying, coming to kick down your door. And then and then you sit up there and they slap you with that RICO. First comes the indictment. You know what I'm saying? They got to get the indictment first. And then they're going to slap that RICO on you. Then you just, it's a wrap after that. Once they throw that up on you, man, that's worse than life. That's worse than getting life in prison. You know what I'm saying? Because there is no way around that. You just got to go through it and deal with the consequences. I thought you said she called already. Huh? Who called already? I don't know what you're talking about. By chance, Brother Jay, did you cross paths with Marjorie? Oh no. I'm up north. I'm up north. At the time when Mob James was rolling around, I mean, yeah, because I wasn't going down to Southern California at that time. Because it had been a few years before the last time I was down there. I didn't go back down to Southern California for a good while. For a good while. But I tell you this much. If I was down there at that time and we did cross paths, you know what I'm saying? It'd have got ugly. It'd have got ugly. But that's why I get on here and I try to put it out there to, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what's going on. This is the picture. And sometimes people don't see or get that picture until 2 years later. Hence how you see all these content creators talking about it. There was only a small few of us that was actually talking about it 2-3 years prior to it being a issue, a problem. It was a problem then, but nobody didn't want to talk about it because everybody was all in this boastful, want to be a superstar. Oh, you could be a superstar, but you're gonna be a superstar for all the wrong reasons. Oh no, Bob James got me by. He got me by a good 10. Blue told me she talked the facts. You and like 3 others. Oh, you talking about her. Oh, okay. You talking about her. Oh. Yeah, that situation. Like I ain't talked to her like on the phone or nothing. It was like whenever she came on here or like through the email or whatnot. But yeah, I ain't worried about her. She ain't nothing but a goofball anyways. So see, Vlad and Adam, the chefs of the indictments, they really are. Yo, what up, Daniel? What's going on? Yeah, I mean, see, and that's the other thing, you know. Now, I heard what Spody Face said and all that. Look, dude, you you somebody else, and it's just not you because you wasn't the only one who said it. You know what I'm saying? There was a few other people who said it. Why are you so mad at DC Baby Draco when you got Adam 20? Like you was on no jumper, so you really shouldn't even be saying anything about anybody getting banned from LA. As far as Asmo goes, Asmo need to keep his mouth shut because he just got. I don't even know if he even got. I don't even know if he went to his hood to go get his DP. I'm pretty sure he did, or I don't know if he did. I don't know. It ain't my business. All I know is he was summoned to his neighborhood to get a DP because he runs his mouth too much. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't got. He need to keep his mouth shut too. You know, how you gonna ban him, but y'all sit over here praising Adam and going on Vlad and all these other, you know what I'm saying, creators that be going to these hoods and doing these hood blogs. Y'all don't be having that same energy for them, but y'all got that energy for DC Baby Draco. And keep in mind, a lot of them content creators that be doing it, they ain't even from California. They ain't even from California. DC Baby Draco from California. He's from Oakland, California. You know what I'm saying? The Yay area. So to me, it's like building a connection between the North and the South that have been broken for a good minute. You know, but it's not his. Look, he's not telling them dudes to do what they be doing up in there. You know what I'm saying? Because hood blogs ain't nothing new. Let's keep that in mind. It ain't nothing new. It really only started picking up like in the 2000s because in the Bay Area, I don't know what they had in anywhere else, but in the Bay Area, we had these uh uh a series called Hood to Hood, and it take you through all the different cities and neighborhoods in the Bay Area. We had that, then that died off. And then so, once the internet started picking up and all this and all that, now we have what we have now. You know. And then and see, and this is the thing. So people don't think that I'm being a hypocrite about it. I was saying it back then. I was saying it back then because I remember it was as a matter of fact, I think it was the first one. And I think there was in like Vallejo or Richmond. And one of the guys was showing, doing all this, showing the money and everything. So he goes in the house, he goes in the bedroom, he opens up his closet door, and he got the shoe boxes. You know about the shoe boxes, you know what's in the shoe boxes, right? So he opens up the shoe boxes and shows all the money that he got up in there. Took out another band, wrapped it up in the rubber band, boom. It was a couple bands he threw up in there to go along with what he had. And I'm watching this and I'm telling my homeboys like, why would he just show that? Like, why are you showing where you keep your money at? You showing where you keep your money at. You showing where you keep your guns at. You know what I'm saying? You taking people all up inside your house. Like, whoa, 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 hold up. You ain't even coming in my house if I don't know your first and last name. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on, Tyler. You're not. If I don't know your first and last name, you're not coming up in my house. That was a golden rule. So why would you just have like it's about your neighborhood, not about what's inside your house? So even back then, I was already like on like this is stupid. Like they don't need to be showing too much. You know. That's why I'm glad that nobody tried to get us to do it because we ain't doing this. You know, if we do our own personal type vlogs, that's one thing. But all that, nah, we ain't doing that. Especially if you're not from our area. No, it's not. It's not going down. And to keep in mind, you wasn't coming into our area unless you was from our area. So even if you was from the same town, if you ain't from this part of Fairfield, you're not coming over here at all. You're not stepping foot in nothing that we have got going on over here. You know. And then you got this, you know, cowboy out here. Like, first of all, keep in mind, you tried to steal your so-called best friend's whole marathon thing and had some bootleg thing going on or whatever. You know, after you took the stand, they paid you quite heavily. You know, you got a nice bag off of that. Now you ain't got nothing. You always want to talk about, you know, you love God and God protects you. Man, look, God don't like ugly. And what you've been doing was very, very ugly. You know, now granted, you know, a lot of people I don't think know that, you know, Nipsey's other name was Thundercat. He was like a little Thundercat. And then Cowboy is Big Thundercat. You know, okay, whatever. But like, I don't know. You know, I be looking at us sometimes, and then I'll be looking at society, and I say to myself, we get so mad at society, but not paying attention to the nonsense that we're doing. Like not focusing on what we're doing. Blame this person for that. But I don't want to take no accountability for anything that I did that I know I was wrong for doing. Make that make sense. And then the fact that we will sit here and protect people knowing in good faith they're no good. But because I can get a bag off of this, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyways. Like, get the bag, but have some morals, have some standards about yourself. You know. You know, I know everybody need money right now. You know, but even now, all money still ain't good money. Cause you gotta worry about that karma coming and knocking on your door. You know, cause it's no thing to get that quick money. You know, anybody can get quick money. But what you have to do to get that quick money, what's the consequences? And not even so much of the consequences if you get caught. But that old word karma coming in knocking on that door. That's what you should be worrying about. Yeah, you go off there and you hit a lick or you hurt somebody to get the money or whatever. Yeah, okay, you good. You know what I'm saying? All your headaches and troubles are gone and washed away. And then something happens. Hmm. But you sitting here thinking, oh well, come on now, put two and two together. Hold on real quick, y'all. Okay. All right, I'm back. Um, sorry. Uh, okay. But yeah. Where did I leave off at? Yo, what's going on, Muhammad? Um, but yeah, I mean, look, I I don't I don't know what goes into the mind, the psyche of how people can want to be around, want to associate themselves with people that have been known to do things that are not good. I mean, everybody knows if you touch a little girl, that's a you're X'd out. Period. You know, you are X'd out. You are not allowed around here. We are not we're not anything to you. But somehow this guy could just roam around and people just like, you know, oh no, don't want to touch him because you know he'll tell on you. Oh, now you want to be scared. Don't be scared now. You know, you you chose to go in that direction, so you got to stay in that direction. You know, if you can't come here or go there or be around this or be around that, that's because of the decision you made to associate yourself with somebody that took the innocence of a young girl. See, and y'all know me, I'm gonna hold people accountable, whether they like it or not, you know. And when it comes to stuff like that, I'm always gonna speak on it. whether they want me to or not. You know, I'm not going to question why Nip was around or if he was knowledgeable of that or what. I don't know. Nip is not here no more, so I'm not about to do that to him. You know. But what people need to do, and there's people that have done it, but the people who need to do it need to shut this cat down. Because for anybody that got little girls, knowing that there is a guy that is on Megan's Law and just roaming the streets, you need to be on this ASAP. Anybody who live in the LA area, y'all need to be on this ASAP. Y'all want to ban somebody from LA? Ban him from LA. Anybody that's on Megan's Law is no good. Don't need to be around nobody. You know, they need to build a special a state separate from everybody else, where all the sickos, they can go and live with each other and do all their nasty stuff to each other. Because we don't want to be around them people. You know, he sit here and he want to talk about the youth and everything. How the hell you going to talk about the youth and you sat there and took the innocence of the youth? How you going to talk about the youth, but you took the innocence of the youth? You talk about what the youth should do, and we need all of that is good lip service. Because you want to deflect everybody else off of what you did. But can't do that. Because I've seen it for my own two eyes. It is clear as, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know how many other people have seen it, but look, those who have seen it, no, it's true. And even some people today kind of, you know, if they don't like them, they'll kind of bring that up from time to time. Yo, what's happening? I see you. He's gonna bring that up from time to time. So it needs to be more than just from time to time. These type of individuals live amongst us, and we have no idea because we don't take the time to look. If we just took the time to look, then what they doing over here? We got kids over here. Nah, they gotta go. But they're letting this dude just roam the streets of South Central like he ain't did nothing wrong. The dude is on Megan's Law. It don't get no more sicker than that. You know. Oh, okay. It don't get no more sicker than that. You kill somebody, okay, yeah, that's bad. You just took a life and all that. That's horrible. You know what I'm saying? You done beat up somebody, sent them to the hospital and all that. They attached the wires and all that stuff. Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's horrible. That's bad. But when you take the innocence of a young girl and end up on Megan's Law, it don't get no more lower than that. It don't get no more lower than that. And he out here talking about 60 Crip and all this and all that. And ain't nobody putting tips on this fool. Y'all didn't exile this cat up out the. Look, I ain't from out there. That ain't my business. But what is my business as a father of a daughter, man, when I see somebody is up on that list, man, no, I got a problem with it. I don't care if I don't care if they living in Timbuktu. If I hear about it and I see the evidence to it, I'm gonna have a problem with it. Everybody else should have a problem with it, but it don't seem like everybody got a problem with it, and that's a problem. Nobody that's on Megan's Law should ever be roaming the streets of anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Especially when there's kids. You know, you got teenagers walking up and down these streets and everything. Like, come on now. And you know he looking. You know he looking. Because it's in him. You don't end up on Megan's Law and then all of a sudden you just, oh, I'm saved. I'm a different person. Are you? Or are you just spending the rest of your life trying to deflect off of that notion? Because there's a difference. You know, you got people on there that are owning what they did. You know, they're like, yeah, we did it, and we, you know, got to do this and do that and all that and all that. Like, they know what to do. They ain't trying to be all out in the street, trying to be around everybody because they know they messed up. They know they messed up. They know they no good. So they don't even bother even showing their face. But you do have some like Herman Douglas, aka Cowboy, who likes to just be out and show his face and roam the streets and everything, and people just acting like he's a good person. You know? The same thing with Charlemagne and that teenage girl at that party. This fool part one of the biggest radio stations in the country. Oh, snap. You know. But hey, I tell you what, if your Broncos if they don't stop that playing stuff, okay, they got a 9-2 record now. Y'all 9-2. Man, y'all shouldn't be winning. Y'all shouldn't be having so many close games. that type of stuff, that the defense does win championships. But if the offense ain't scoring and the games is close, the playoffs is a whole different animal. A whole different animal. The ball can flip and it ain't got nothing to do with the defense. You know what I'm saying? A win is a win. But you know it's the truth. The playoffs is a whole different animal. Because think about it. Go back to that Niner Packer game a couple years ago and we was playing in the snow. Neither offenses played good. Both defenses, were holding up, but it wasn't the defense that won the game. It was special teams. It was special teams. We ended up getting a block. Picking the ball up and scoring the touchdown. That's how we won the game. When you win them close games, man, that the games is a lot tighter in the playoffs, and the ball can bounce either way. When you play them close games in the playoffs, that ball could bounce either way. You never want to have them close games. A 9-2 record, you should have more dominant games on your resume. Have them close games because you're going to need that. You're definitely going to need that. But having a 9-2 record, you guys should have at least 5 dominant games where the games are not close. Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, I can't wait till she's talking about Cowboys. Tyler said, I don't want to hear this no more. Who goes to the next thing? Yo, hey, Tyler, on everything, man, it really is over for y'all. It's not happening this year. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You guys should already have that. You guys should already have that. The last couple of games you guys should have been dominating. Case in point, that Raider game. Ain't no way. I don't care if it's a divisional game. A bad team. Look, we just got done whipping up on the Arizona Cardinals. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. When you're supposed to beat them teams, you're supposed to beat them teams. You are supposed to beat them teams. Run it down their throat. Run it down their throat. They ain't got no defense. Run it down their throat in screen games. Hit that screen. Hit them with a wide receiver screen. Hit them with a running back screen. Throwing some Bo Nix runs there. There's ways to play against the elements. You just got to play a short game to get there, you know what I'm saying, a lot longer. But you never want to, you know what I'm saying, never want to throw in that shit. Throwing in the wind, oh, Lord, you don't want to do that. Sure, that becomes interception city right there. When you throw it in the wind, it's about to be 10 interceptions in that game. Like, oh, you got linemen getting interceptions. I think offensive coordinator Matt Nagy, he needs to fire. Whew. Yeah, it's over. I think Andy Reid gonna retire after this one. But it's all right. All you guys got to do is just maintain, though, But as far as dynasties and all that, nah, ain't nothing that going on. Ain't nothing that going on. I don't care how many times you done been to. Look. Well, how many rings y'all got? See, y'all be just like. Oh yeah, you guys got 3 rings. In how many years? Let's see. Your run started in 2016 with Alex Smith. But you didn't start winning rings until 2019. So within the pandemic years, the COVID years, and after that, yeah, you guys only got 3 rings after all that. Hey, only 3 rings in how many years? Wait, that's 3 rings in 10 years. Well, is Dallas a dynasty? No, Dallas can be a dynasty in the 90s, even with 3 rings. Because if the Steelers got 4, and that made them a dynasty, we got 4, that made us a dynasty. Then you need 4 to be a dynasty. You don't, man, 3 rings. Nah, 3 rings don't make you a dynasty. And I don't care how many times you've done been to the playoffs. Yeah, see, dynasty. Yeah, but your guys' run started when you guys started to go because this is the thing. When your run starts when you get back to the playoffs, that's when your run starts. So, like like with the Patriots, they run started in 2001, right? That's within the first year or two. You take you take us. Ours started within the first couple of years. As well as the Steelers. The Cowboys, see, they won in 92, so they will see 90. So see, they got back in 92. So let's see, let me see. They drafted in 89. They didn't make it in 90. They made it in 90. So they run started in 91. And then they won it in 92. Yeah. So you guys started in 16. So that's 17, 18. Okay, so you guys within that. Okay. But you still need 4 rings, though. You need 4 of them. You need 4 of them. Yeah, they got 5 all together. Oh yeah. Yeah. I was just saying that. You guys beat us twice, and you guys beat Philadelphia to get the 3 rings. But you need 4 though. You need 4. You need 4. You know. You gotta get them 4. You gotta get them 4 and 10. No matter how length of 10, because we took the whole decade. We took the whole decade to get our 4. As a matter of fact, the Steelers took the whole decade of the 70s too. So yeah. Yeah, I know we got 5. We the first to 5. We the first to 5. And I'm just hoping that our defense, and if we can get a free agent too to come in, man, because we got to make this run. We got the Super Bowl at the house, man. We got to make this run. So, but hey, I'm about to go ahead and end this, y'all. So, Jesse will be going live here in a minute. So y'all go and tap on over there to Frontline Black News. Go get your education on, and I will see y'all next time. Y'all have a good night. Peace.